Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Yasuo Uchiha here with my brother, Brandon Uchiha.
Hello.
And today we'll be having a very important discussion about the upcoming TCG Yu-Gi-Oh! Banlist. As we all know, we are getting closer to March 1st, so it's time to throw our hat in the prediction of what's going to get hit and what's not. So, Brandon, how about you take the honors of just letting the world know what we think will be banned, limited, semi, and unlimited.
Okay, for the bands, I would say the number one that has to go, in my opinion, also the community's opinion, would have to be True King of All Calamities. It's very degenerate. It doesn't really allow you to have interactions with your opponent. That and certain decks are just way too strong with a card like Virtual World, for example.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that deck can make even two calamities if it wants to, meaning you literally can't play for 4 turns. So I say number one, that card has to go.
Honestly, that was my first pick too. I mean, True King is it's a just a nasty card. It just needs to go away. And God
Yes, and
and God knows whatever comes after it, it's just going to be cancerous even more.
yeah, that's why I think the card and everyone else thinks that the card should be banned now. Like, we don't know how it escaped from the last ban list, but regardless, whatever Konami thinks, I believe it should be banned up at this upcoming ban list, or it should be. It's not 100% though, because like the way that Konami is now is that basically what future sets are coming up is what's gonna be the ban list basically for the next format for the next couple months. So luckily, I don't think there's any True King support or anything like that coming out in the near future. So I believe it should be banned. Should, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, that's the scary part. It's not guaranteed, but that's at least our prediction. We both believe that King of All Calamities should get on out of here. Now,
Yep.
now to be fair, do you think any other card should be banned or no?
After I thought about it, I'm not saying now, but maybe later down the road, I would have to say, to be honest, either not needle fiber, but I think LP should go sometime in the future, not now, because Dragon Lake is not that popular. I mean, it's rising, but it's not been showing up that much. The only reason why I'm saying LP for the future part is that dragons are literally a broken archetype in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh, as we all know.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say some crazy dragon support comes out, and LP's still around, it could get a little chaotic, a little out of hand.
You know, I'm not going to disagree with you there. I actually been thinking about it. Been listening to everyone's opinions on YouTube, and honestly, I do agree. Not right now. I don't think he should be banned now because there's nothing breaking Dragon Link.
No, not really.
But
And but like I said, in the near future, I think it should be banned. If any actual generic or even an archetype dragon support comes out that just is way too powerful for while LP's around.
oh yeah, like
Kind of like with the Needle Fiber and Summoner Sorceress back then, how those two cards can't exist.
mm-hmm.
I think with LP, if there's a card like that the two can't coexist, then yes, one or the other has to go. Which, unfortunately, LP will go because he's been out for a long time for about what, a year or no, a year,
No,
about a year or two.
I was going to say at least a year and a half or 2 years for sure. He's been out for a
Yeah,
while, and I don't.
yeah,
Again, I don't disagree with you, man. I honestly do agree because as much as I love LP and as much as I love our Blue Ice deck that we've made, you know, that card, if with the right support, will just bust open a deck and we might as well just say, well, hello, Thunder Dragons, or Thunder Dragon Chaos deck. You know, all those dangerous decks he was in back in the day.
yeah. So that's why I think now is a no. But let's say in the upcoming ban list after March, let's say there's future Dragon support coming out, let's say in fall. Then I think it should be hit then. So that way none of those shenanigans can happen while LP is around still. Now, as for the next card, I don't think there's really anything else that's ban worthy. No, I think that's it for the forbidden list. I think it's just those two cards that people really have an issue with. And other people have said for Benton, Cyber Angel Benton to be banned, but I'm like, that's really not really worthy of a ban. Like, seriously, Drytron's just been out for like what, a couple months?
Yeah, about a couple months.
That, and I think it'll be like that's not gonna solve the problem with Drytron. Drytron will still be able to make something regardless if Benton goes or not, or even limited or semi-limited.
I was gonna say, I think the OCG doesn't use her all that often, but I'm not entirely sure. If not, they use her 2 copies, if not just one.
More or less. But other than that, I think that's it for the Forbidden list. Because nothing else comes to mind for Forbidden. It's just Calamity, absolutely. LP, I say not now, but maybe in the future I would agree with it.
I also want to throw one more future potential person to go into the ban list as well, if you don't mind.
Who would that be?
Honestly, I feel Needle Fiber will have to hit the ban list eventually, and here's my reasoning why. Like you said for LP, I think the same could happen with tuners and synchros in the future, where Needle Fiber, or Halby Fibrax, if you want to use his TCG name, will just spam out a boss monster, spam out the support for a boss monster, bam, 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 just like that in the near future. If Konami releases any more synchro support.
True, and people have been outcrying for Nephi to be banned so that way everyone could get their tuners back that made the card broken, which I do sympathize with you, but at the same time, those two cards can't coexist, and knowing Konami, they'll just ban the tuners that just make the card broken. And the other thing that I find it very fascinating is that people want the card banned, but you can easily get a copy of your own on, let's say, Cool Stuff TCG Player, eBay even if you want to, for like what, $20?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is actually very cheap for a card that's so powerful that allows any deck to really use. So I say it will definitely be in that one category. In the near future, it should be banned, but now I don't think.
Agree.
Like if Calamity gets banned, the actual form will actually be balanced, in my opinion.
Until Drytron and Virtual World get more support.
Yes, but at least for the time being, after let's just say King Calamity just gets banned,
Yeah.
which is really fine with me.
Absolutely.
That'll make the game, I would say, more balanced. There'll be actual interactions between both players. That's the thing that I look forward to in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that there's always interaction, not just, hey, this monster says you can't do anything, like Dark Warrior did, the Gumblar loop, the Trisha loop back in the day. Like, it's not fun, it's not interactive. You're basically just saying, hey, I'm not allowing you to play the game.
Yeah. Saying that and all that, it's just, we want a format where every person can have a chance to participate. No one wants to play a format where they can't do anything. Like, you mentioned the whole Gumblar or the heroic champion. I can't remember his name because I don't want to remember his name.
Rungo Pungo.
Yeah, Rungo Pongo. It's just all those cards that say, nope, you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! I win. Where's the interaction? The game's supposed.
Another thing to keep in mind is that back then, that like let's even just take a year ago. Literally the format was all about who gets to go first. If you went second, you were screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it doesn't matter if you go first or second. Maybe sometimes you want to go second, like Cyber Dragon, for example, or maybe even what's another strategy that actually wants to go second more often. Cyber Dragon is like the only one I can think of, but I know there's plenty of other decks that do prefer going second.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, that's all of our thoughts and opinions for the ban list part. Now let's move on to the limited list, and I'll kick this one off. Now this is where I think Cyber Angel Benton should be put. Not banned, but limited.
Yeah. Okay, we could definitely debate on that, but go on. But I think the next card that should be limited, in my opinion, to be taken off the ban list would be Metaphor's Electromite.
Ooh. Okay, I'll get to you in a second, but I want to give you my reasons why Benton should go to the limited list. I think the reason why she should go to limited is because, honestly, I think Di, Di, what's it called? Dogmata?
Tron.
Ditron. They re-loop her. They bring her back. So, what's the point of having? If you have 3 copies, you're just really extending your play. So, really, with one, there we go.
Well, the main reason why they run through is just for the consistency part.
Oh yeah,
It's not gonna change anything really. Like even if you went it down to 1, they'll still find a way to make the card work and still get to the end board. Just it might not be as consistent. Will its power be dropped dramatically? No, it'll be dropped down a little bit just to tone it down. But I think semi-limited is what Konami is gonna do, not limited. If they actually limit, I'll actually be amazed and surprised.
fair. But speaking of the semi-limited list, really only one monster deserves to be there, and that's Malicious. God rest his soul.
He was unlimited at one time, remember?
About a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but only for one format. After that, they put him right back to 2, which made me question, like, okay, why'd you unlimit the card when you know it's going to create chaos in a format that's already chaotic as it is?
Hey, let's just be happy they didn't limit him.
If they limited him, then no one would play the damn card.
Seriously. And honestly, the only archetype at this point that abused Malicious is Heroes at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty much about it. That or a Dark Warrior strategy that synergizes the card well, in my opinion.
Well, the only deck I can think of about that would be the new Phantom cards that just came out in Phantom Rage. But I haven't seen them, besides you, of course, have like splashed out that much.
Yeah, but I don't run Malicious in that one just because. Well, we're not going to discuss the deck on this video.
Yeah, that's for another time.
But besides that, I think the next card, in my opinion, is going to be what?
Let's go. I want to hear your reasoning why Electromite should come off the ban list to the limited.
Well, there's a multitude of reasons. The first reason is how Konami wants to sell their product. Like what the ban list is how they want to sell their product.
That's true.
So if Metalphos comes back, the upcoming Pendulum support in Ancient Guardians will definitely sell because Metalphos Electromite will be available.
And that's a site. I want to be honest with you for a second. You and I are both very excited for that set to come out.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited. Even though it might not be like a broken archetype, it'll still be a fun deck for me to play with at least.
Oh, same.
But
I'm just praying to God they're not like all like Starlight rares or all that stupid rarity stuff. Ugh.
Yeah. Now, the second reason is that pendulums were not that dominant even in the last year when Metalphos was still limited. They weren't that dominant. Like the decks that were dominant at the time were what? Thunder Dragon, Chaos. Let me think here. Sky Striker, like those decks.
Yeah,
those were dominant. Pendulum was an exception. It could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think Pendulum is actually in a neutral zone throughout. Like, Pendulum is a very weird mechanic, okay? Just because it allows you to special summon as many monsters as you want as long as it fits within the scale numbers. Which is a broken mechanic, especially if you play a Pendulum deck, obviously.
And yet but yet the system isn't used that much.
Yeah. Well, the reason is because Metalphos Electromite is banned. Like, you can't run a Pendulum deck literally without Metalphos. You can't.
That is true. And another thing is, like, another thing that hit Pendulums really bad was when Servant went to 1. When Servant went to 1, that really hit them hard too because the Idiom Structure deck was really good. The spell counter stuff was blooming. And then, like you said, Electromite got banned and she got limited.
Yeah, but like I said, if I were Konami at this rate, if I wanted to sell that product in particular, I would bring Metalfoes Electromite back. Maybe just for that format, or maybe so onward. Because I don't think Metalfoes will be that bad, because Pendulum is essentially a combo deck. You don't want to do a control style with it. You want to combo off into your big monsters that allow you to get, I say, minimum 2 to 3 negates each game. Minimum.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Then, yep. Now, speaking of the limited list, what do you think about any Dino support getting hit, like the?
Miscellaneous, I think, will get hit to 1. If not, maybe at 2, which won't really do anything. It'll mess with the consistency a little bit, but it won't do much.
From what I've heard, if it gets hit to 1, it's no, that's not the card. Everyone, what was that one card Callie was talking about?
It was miscellaneous.
No, it wasn't miscellaneous. It was something else.
Are you talking about Oviraptor?
Yeah, that one, Oviraptor.
Raptor, not rapper.
Raptor. Sorry, got my tongue twist.
Anyway, that, to be honest, I think both will get hit in some fashion.
I do agree. I know Dinos haven't dominated this last few months, but they're still there, and I know Konami's probably keeping an eye on them.
Yep, more or less. Now, let's go on to the semi-limited, shall we?
Is there anything that really needs to go there?
I can tell you exactly what will go there because it's been all over the ban list besides the bans.
What's that?
Called by the Grave to 2.
Oh, for Pete's sakes!
That's what Konami like.
I know.
There's literally a pattern with that card. First, it was unlimited. Then it got semi-limited. Then it got unlimited. Then it went to limited. So my thought process is that either they'll unlimited again because it actually didn't do anything, or it'll go to 2, which will definitely help a little bit. But I don't think the card should have been limited in the first place. It was that makes me question what were they thinking, because that card actually helps compete with these combo heavy decks or these decks that heavily rely on graveyard effects.
Oh no, absolutely. I'm also very surprised why Konami would just randomly say, "Nah, back to 1." When hand traps at this point in time are like one of the most important things in a deck now, inside deck, and at any moment you can get ashed, you can get ghost spelled. Heck, you can even get ghost ogred. It's like, we need our cards. We need the cards to stop those cards.
More or less. Now, for my part, I think Benton will go to 2. Just to put Drytron down a little bit.
Give them a little slap on the wrist.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But I think the deck hasn't been around that long for it to just all of a sudden get killed. It's not like with what's that one archetype that literally got basically cut within the first week. I don't remember what his name was. Not Zodiac, it was what was it?
Spirals?
Yeah, Spirals. That was like they were either smoking crack or cocaine or something, and then he realized, oh shit, we need to get rid of this, or else it's just gonna get way too fucking chaotic. Okay, Drytron's not one of those decks.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Now, if it was, yes, either cut Benton out completely, or put it in the limited list. But other than that, I think the deck should be around at least another format or 2.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Like, I think when it comes to the TCG ban list and the OCG ban list, I know the OCG hasn't touched Dytron in Virtual World that much, as far as I know. And, I think the TCG will be completely different from the OCG, because the OCG, there's, you and I we did a whole field day on the comparison, right?
Yeah, I looked at both ban lists, and they're their meta over there is completely different from over here.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
like over there they have Max C, we don't, which makes me question. Okay, how is Max C okay over there, but not over here, even though it's the same game,
And
technically?
by the way, we both can agree right now. To everyone who says Maxi should come back, you're crazy.
No. Maxi, if you believe Maxi should be touched to be moved from the ban list, you deserve to be put on a catapult and flamed to a volcano and literally burned to death.
Agreed. Because seriously, that card can never come back. You want to talk about degeneracy? That card was degeneracy. It didn't matter what deck it was in. It was just pure degeneracy.
Well, it's not really degenerate. Is that you get so much of a card advantage, like especially if you're going against a combo heavy deck that needs a special summon a lot to get the board out. And let's say at the end of the turn you have like freaking what 20 freaking cards in your hand, and you get to discard all that, and let's say all of them have graveyard effects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not degenerate. That is just way, way too much advantage.
Or, speaking about the combo decks, it just puts a stop to it. It's like, the minute you special summon, they get a draw, so you have to go set pass. Just to stop it from activating or getting the benefit.
Now, if I were Konami here, like when that new cross out card comes out, which allows you to banish a card as long as you own it from the opponent's hand and deck, it's gonna sound crazy, and I think Konami would do this to bring Max C back then, which I would just quit the game right then and there.
Even with the Noble Crossout?
Yeah, the new Noble Crossout that basically is a call by the grave, but you get to banish it from the hand or deck as long as you own it. So if you want to banish Max C completely, you gotta banish your own.
Yeah, that kind of sucks entirely because it's like Konami probably would do that, and it's gonna be like, really? You're doing this just to make us get rid of it? Why? And at that point, you might as well go back to your original argument. Why would you even take it off? But that,
Exactly.
well,
Like
that's
in my opinion, that card should never be moved from there. Period. Unless it gets a hard nerf to the card text, basically an errata, basically.
what's a lot of cards on the ban list need to come back. Yeah, and I agree. Like if Maxi's coming back, it needs a real hard errata to the point where why would you even run it?
More or less, basically.
Now,
Now, for the unlimited,
let's get the obvious out of the way. What is it? True King's Return to 3?
yeah, I think that's fine because even when that card was at 2, it didn't really do anything. It didn't phase anything at all. Like we didn't see him in competitive play much.
Seriously, you haven't seen anything from Drew Draco in a long time, actually. The last time I heard anything from them was a year ago. Since then, they've been dead quiet.
Yes, because the meta has now changed. It's all about now not committing to every resource you have to this big board that says, "Hey, break my board," and all your point has to do is either do a Dark Ruler no more and then basically get rid of it, and you basically lose. Because I'm just gonna guess from that person's point of view, you use every card in your hand and probably half of your deck just to make that big board that says, "Hey, break my board."
That's true. And
We're in a meta now that you don't commit everything. You just put maybe one or two negates and then you pass.
mm-hmm, I agree. Oh, absolutely. With this meta right now, it's a more control-based meta. We're not in the world of combos. We're in the world of, all right, set my board up to where I need it, and then have control.
It's kind of like a combo control format. It matters. Like, let me put it to you this way: the more cards that you put into a board, the more at risk you are of literally not coming back to the game. Basically, like you
Mm-hmm.
need to have a plan B.
Yeah, if you don't got a plan B, you're screwed.
More or less.
Now, another card that I believe is going to come off to the unlimited list is going to be Double Iris Magician.
Double Iris.
I think he's already unlimited or semi-limited right now.
He is semi, which, yeah, he'll probably go to the unlimited list because he hasn't really done anything because, well, pendulums aren't a thing because Metal's Electromite.
Yep. And honestly, even if Electromite came back, he's still not really that great of a card anymore. He's a couple.
No.
He's a couple years too old.
Yep. But now, ideally, I would want Call by the Grave unlimited. Ideally.
Yes, we all ideally want that, and honestly, I hope it kind of does happen because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of really miss, you know, I miss using that card because it really is a helpful card.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but if there's a person out there that says that card should be banned, you're out of your fucking mind. It's easy to attain it. I mean, frick, it's even in a structure deck, I believe, as a common.
Right? Yeah, it is actually. It is. It's like, can we please have it back, Konami? Please?
I mean, it's not like freaking Forbidden Droplet, Triple Tactics Talent, Lightning Storm. It's not like those cards are so expensive that you have to basically break an arm and a leg for.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And, with Call by the Grave, it's just, there's been so many reprints of it, and it's so accessible to everybody that you kind of need to have it, even in your main deck or your side deck for sure, because Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell, Ghost Ogre.
Not only that, but also certain cards in a deck that heavily rely on that graveyard effect.
Like Benton.
That or zombies, for example. Outlage. Like, basically any deck that heavily relies on the grave, that card just flat says, okay, let's tone you down a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the perfect, it's the perfect balance, if I could say that. Because it stops any combo deck from going crazy.
Yep, and the next card to be unlimited, and I actually heard about this, and they did make a good discussion on it, is... I can't remember what that fusion monster's name is. It's, I think it's Diamond, I think it is, the fusion monster.
Uh, wait. Gem Knight Diamond Master?
I believe so, just because since Brilliant Fusion's at 1, and you can't really do...
Wait. Brilliant Fusion's banned.
Oh, it is banned? Okay, never mind. Scratch that. Since that card is banned, you can't do the OTK combo anymore. And since Gemini's not even a deck anymore, really, I think it'll be fair to put that back to 3. Just that way people can have fun with it.
And the card you're talking about, by the way, is Gem Knight Master Diamond.
Okay, thank you.
And now, I also want to bring up a card that I think deserves to come back to 3. And that is Dynamite Knight, the true Draco fighter.
Ideally, but he'll probably be set to semi-limited. Or is he already semi-limited?
No, he's limited currently at the moment.
Well, I think he'll be put into semi-limited, probably. But ideally, for True Draco, I don't think it would do anything even if he was at 3, to be honest.
Seriously, I think True Draco at this point, the only version I could see making a big impact would be true domain Dracos.
Yeah, in that sense, the field spell that makes the deck so consistent is at 1, Terraforming is at 1, Metaverse is at 1, and the monster at the time that made the deck so good was Masterpiece, which is banned, and for good reason.
And he will never see the light of day.
Until he gets a hard errata once again.
Where he's only... I kind of wish Konami would let him come back just one time. Because I've never played against the card. I came in way after he got banned. But I'm kind of curious what he would do to the meta at 1 copy, specifically.
It would be interesting, but at the same time, for a lot of other people, they would question you, being like, I think you need to be put on a catapult, thrown into a volcano, and die.
Probably. They're probably thinking that. But then again, that's just my prediction, or that'd just be like a wish dream for me. I kind of want to try them.
Then, of course, if Needle Fiber does get banned, let's just say for the sake of argument, if they do that, that means they have to bring all the tuners back that they banned because of Needle Fiber.
Except for the broken ones, of course.
No, all of them. Those cards were only broken because of Needle Fiber.
True.
By themselves, without it, it doesn't actually do much. They're supposed to be supportive to their own respective archetypes.
Just to pick on the Yu-Gi-Oh memes for a second. I want to build my synchro deck or my synchron deck. Come on, Konami. I want to play as you say.
Yeah, that's basically what I would imagine. But if Needle Fiber were to get banned, all the cards that were banned because of it would come back. Unlimited, probably. It would be weird, but I wouldn't complain either.
This is probably exactly what will happen. If for some reason Needle Fiber does get banned this ban list, they'll put everything back to 1, then semi, and then unlimited. That's how they usually do it. It's always that first copy first.
That, and this is like the worst case scenario. Let's say they do ban Needle Fiber, but they don't bring back any of the tuners that made the card so broken at its prime when it first released.
That'll just be a terrible move by Konami.
More or less, but that's literally worst case scenario. I don't think they will, but if they did, I would not be as shocked.
Agreed. Now, with that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, please leave in the comments down below what you believe should be hit on the limited, banned, semi-limited, or unlimited list. And also, leave some feedback in how we did by hitting that like button and hitting the subscribe button for more future videos. Until then, we will catch you all in the next video. See you later.